Hey everybody, how's it going tonight?
It's
Um,
going good.
Happy Monday night. This is Matt Benton with his baby face that he has
Yep.
shaved.
Baby
That
face right
haven't
now.
seen in a while. It's hard to get used to, but I guess we will, won't we? It
Yeah, I look like I'm a teenager again.
is funny. Oh well, it's okay. That can usually work in your benefit, I think, not against you most of the time. So, how's it going?
It's going good.
Okay, I wrote some questions down to ask you, and I had watched some of your other interviews, and I did not want to ask the same exact questions that everybody seems to ask all the time because I feel like sometimes it just gets old answering the same thing, and it's usually a question that you got to like spend forever answering. So I really actually wanted to know some things about some of the investigations that you've done and about your film and stuff and like the process of it and how it felt. Like, how did it feel to be in the Conjure House, first of all? Because I've wanted to go there so bad, and Jason has too, and a lot of people have. How did it feel when you got there?
It's definitely one of those intriguing places. There's something about that place that has its own vibe. Literally, when I enter the location, I felt like a pressure on my chest type feeling. You know how you get used to a feeling once you've been in it for like a while? Like, just for example, if you go to someone's house
Yeah.
that really smells, but your
I
nose
was just
gets
going to
used to
say a
it.
smelly house.
Yeah, so it's the
Yeah.
same thing, except for with paranormal. A lot of times, like right when I enter in there, I felt that heaviness feeling, and then it and also a little bit of equilibrium thing, and then it went away after you got used to it, and then it's definitely the most interesting experience I had there personally. Never had an experience like that before, and it really changes things. That's for sure for me. So
Yeah. It took me a while because I'm a busy person, kind of like you are, and I have kids. But I did finish the film, and I really, 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 really liked it. I was like really surprised. I guess it wasn't what I expected at all, but even halfway through or a third of the way through, I was like, man, there was a lot of hard work freaking put into this and a lot of hours and a lot of editing and a lot of interviews and like preparation for this
yeah,
to come out right. It was
yeah,
really
it was a
good.
year of my life all
Yeah,
into that
everybody
film.
did an awesome job that was in it and that was involved in it, and I thought it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They I
it
put
was
over
really
400
good.
hours of editing.
Mm.
Over
That's
400
a
hours of
lot.
editing.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask you how long it took. What'd you say,
Well,
Jason?
I was going to say, yeah, it was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. I really enjoyed it. Man, it's over 2 hours long. I mean, it was well put together, well edited, like she was saying. Everything seemed like it flowed really good, and
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I sent it to him to watch before the show tonight.
and of course anything about the
It's like your
Conjuring House.
homework.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm, I'm going to watch anything about the Conjuring House. So
Yeah, he's like
yeah.
obsessed with the Controverse, so I knew he'd want to watch it anyways. And he was my co-host, and I didn't think he'd care if he watched it. So he that way he'd know what was going on tonight,
Oh
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
be like, "What's
No
going on?
problem.
I didn't watch it. I don't have any idea." I had another question too because I've always been like super intrigued with Bathsheba, and I knew that y'all had done some research, and you had a guy that had came in like a historian or something that had done a lot of
Mhm.
research to debunk or to basically explain the actual truth behind some of the rumors and the like wildfire spread stories about Bathsheba or whatever. I've always been so intrigued by her, really, really in the movie. They probably hyped it up. And then after hearing the stories that weren't actually true about her, like, did you have any weird experiences? Because it seemed like you do have a lot of sensitivity and you did connect with spirits there. Like, do you feel like that you had an experience with her there?
I don't know about her, but I did feel this shadowy mass type of like something dark in a way, and it felt like I didn't get any. I'm not psychic, so I didn't get like anything like, oh, it's a female, it's a male, or it's
Yeah.
the name of the person or whatever. I don't even know what it was exactly, but it's definitely it is almost in some way also a psychic experience because I was feeling the emotions of someone else from the past. I felt like,
Yeah.
and which is weird for me because I never experienced anything like that in my whole life. And if you watch any of my other stuff, like my episodes that are on my YouTube channel, Devil's Hour Productions, you can see that never happens to me. That type of stuff. So it only happened at this place when it comes to this level and being affected physically like that. So it was definitely very different, and a brand new experience that I'm glad I had. Actually, it opened my eyes in certain things.
It's really interesting and enlightening when you have your first like medium or empathic experience with the spirit connecting to you or using you as a vessel or like showing you or teaching you what happened there or like letting you feel through basically kind of like they're reliving through you or something, almost like you're watching a movie of what happened there in the past. It's a cool
Yeah.
experience, I think.
Also, like there's things that back it up too, which is the coolest part, in my opinion. Because when I was having those experiences, the voices that were coming through, and then on top of that, Andrea Perrin herself mentioning what I was literally feeling in the moment. I even talk about it when I'm there, and
Mm-hmm.
it actually happened to her sister. So the exact same thing I was envisioning, and so that was very strange.
I'm glad you didn't get dragged down the stairs though, because I don't think that
I
you'd be
wish.
going to boot camp in a couple of days if you did.
If I was being dragged down, it would have been worth it if it was caught on video.
Actually, I mean, I guess I can agree with that in some way.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to see that anyways, but then at the same time, I'd be like, oh, Jesus, what happened to him afterwards? Did he have to end the film and come back and finish it? Because was
Yeah.
there medical staff nearby? Yeah.
Yeah, not for this one. It was just basically the team, and Corey was in like this one part of the building that he stays in to watch his movies or whatever. 1 second. Something just hit me. I need to go to the restroom real quick. Sorry about that. I know
Okay.
it goes very right out the bat, but 1 second.
I was going to ask you if you watched it, but I guess you did.
Yeah.
You like
So,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was good. I'm gonna ask him about. I thought it was cool that Andrea Perrin was a part of it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that too. It was so neat that they got to interview her, and then they got to interview John, also, who had lived there for quite a while. I wouldn't mind having him on some night and interviewing him.
Yeah.
He said he'd come on sometime, but I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
asked him to come on like for the full show. Yeah. So, how's everybody tonight? Hey, Adam and Courtney and Irene, Jeff,
What's that?
Joshua.
Okay, so I'm
Debbie.
easily.
Oh, mini eggs, the malted milk eggs. Selena, Robert, Brenda, Mike, Debbie. Did I already say Debbie? Crow, Judas, Adam, and Mike again. It might be a different Mike. Hidron. Yeah, he said sorry. That's okay. When nature calls, she's loud and clear. She's loud and clear. So,
Not
if
a
you
big
guys
deal.
have any questions in the audience, yeah, those stairs are crazy. Then feel free to ask. Hey, Charles.
That's what's cool about doing a live show. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. He had shared a video with us when we were doing the Save the Waverly thing, and I tried to show it, but for some reason it got cut off. And then we wanted to bring him on, and his daughter showed up, so he didn't get to come on during the Save the Waverly Hills Parathon. But he wanted to come on and explain more about the video that he sent me. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember if it was at the Conjure House or if it was at Waverly, if he had been there. This man being nobody. I'm having my PB sandwich. Just peanut butter? Is there something else on there? Peanut butter and honey, peanut butter Nutella.
A good PB&J.
Yeah. I also really liked their camera rig.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I was like, man, I would love for us to have one of those. It's still an ongoing court thing, Joshua. I don't know what happened on the first. I don't know what happened on the first court date.
What was it?
The Waverly Hills court date. The original date was in December. It was moved to January 6th, and I don't know what happened on that day. I was supposed to get back to some people and let them know because they were curious. Some people that had made contributions and stuff.
Yeah, is Ernie or Denise out there watching or anything? Do we know?
I don't know, but I need to ask them. Someone said Baron. It's Matt Benton. Did I put Baron? No, it's Benton, you guys. Matt Benton. Postponed. Courtney said it's postponed. Hey, Gina and Juan. They're from our Night Terror Collective page. So, yeah, we're talking to Matt about the Conjure House, and then I also want to ask about a couple of other locations that he's been to that I've seen stuff about. It looked really interesting that we haven't been yet. You know, we might want to go to in the future.
Oh yeah.
Hello, I'm glad you came
Sorry
back.
about that.
You
That was
have to
like
call
a
911 or anything like that.
yeah, it was like a bad stomach ache out of nowhere. I was like, oh god, I had to go.
I don't think it would have mattered anyways. I'd be like, hey, someone go rescue this person. I don't know their address, but man is down. Man is down.
Man down.
Man is down.
It was a bad one.
Hey, Tim. How's it going? He's going to come on the show sometime soon also. Yeah, I just haven't given him any dates yet. So last week we didn't have anybody, and then tonight we had Matt. I just wanted to make sure I got some good questions and stuff. Jason had a question.
Okay.
Oh, I was saying, I thought it was pretty cool how y'all got Andrea Perrin to come on your show, because it, it really kind of backed all that, the evidence up and give it good credibility, as far as having her experiences on there. It was really neat to see her be part of it.
Yeah, I thought it definitely added to the documentary quality, because you want the people that actually were there during the moment. Literally, the whole story is Andrea Perrin and her family, and also the other investigators that were there. It's like it's their story, and you can't tell it without them. You can. It's just it won't be as executed well, in my opinion. You need them, so.
I feel like having a connection with them also helps you be more connected to the house and what happened.
Well, I
I
didn't get to talk to Andrea Perrin when we filmed.
Yeah.
It was after we filmed, so it did add a little bit too, definitely to the documentary for sure. It was really cool explaining like pretty much everything about it, of what was happening in the past, what they experienced. You could even see it through their emotions, like what it was like to them. So
yeah, and she lived there for over 10 years, right? Or at least 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
I saw you got old John involved there, Mr. John.
Oh yeah, John. Yeah. He
like
actually he's one of my favorite parts of the documentary, showing his evidence. I was like,
yeah.
oh, this is gonna be fun to edit.
He's
so
a nice person.
I went through a lot of his footage. He gave me permission, and I found some of his best stuff. And I was like, yeah, I want to put this in there. It goes with the storyline. So he was there for like about 7 months, I believe, 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, John Huntington.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he stayed there a while, and I saw some of the spirit box stuff that he did. He sent me a video like a couple weeks ago. I saw some of the spirit box stuff that he did where it took him to that cemetery that was kind of hidden back there.
Yeah.
That was really awesome.
Yeah. I was trying to search for it in the snow. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it might be harder in the snow, I bet.
Yeah, it sucks crossing that bridge too in the snow, like literally about to fall through. It was funny because I was live when that happened, and when I was coming back, because it was a very sketchy situation, like you could fall through that bridge. The bridge's all messed up, and the snow's covering it completely. So you're literally feeling along the whole way, and then on the way back, the stream cuts because my phone dies. Everyone's like in the chats, like, "Is that okay? Did he fall?"
Oh my gosh, yeah, because it abruptly ended, and they were like, "Is that why it ended? Did his man down again?"
Yeah, they started messaging Joe and everyone else there, like, "You need to go check on Matt." I was able to make it through. Don't worry.
Tim asked if you had any more documentaries coming up.
I have one in post-production at the moment. Sorry, not post, pre-production.
That's what I thought you had said, yeah. Now you'll have to kind of postpone it for just a little bit, probably, unless you can roll it out in a couple of days.
Well, this is going to be a long filming process, and in the military, you do get leave time, like you know, and so I'm planning on using some of that leave time to film the documentary. So,
you also get to travel. You'll get to travel to different places, so it
Oh
could be a
yeah,
good platform or a good like opportunity to record it at places you might not have gone already.
yeah. That was amazing footage. Blown away seeing that.
The
What part is she
bridge
talking about?
thing, I guess,
Oh
the bridge
yeah,
part.
the bridge part. What? Yeah, I didn't know she watched it. That's funny. Yeah, so that was in the live stream I did. It's on my channel. It's not in the documentary.
And
Yeah, I thought
thank
it was
you.
pretty cool how you.
For
I thought it was pretty cool how you explain the issues around like the stuff that's happening with the land. You had the battles from the Indians and everything back
yeah,
in the
I did
day.
too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
I think some like the thing is like why embellish history when it could be just as interesting. I think that's very interesting.
It is, and it's
It's
actually probably more logically explains a lot of the stuff that might go on afterwards, knowing that that's like a stain where people died in war, probably.
yeah. On top of that, like Weldon, the other people that did the other documentary there, uh, he actually like I think he heard like drums or something like that, kind of like Native American like out there.
Yeah, they did.
So I
They
was like,
had
oh, that's interesting.
recording where Brian heard the drums at one time, and then I think another person heard him at another time, which is really weird because there's a place that we've investigated, me and Jason, that's not far from me. It's in Oklahoma. And there's an old schoolhouse slash church there. And I went there once and I did a spirit box session using a hand dial old AM FM radio and got drum beats there. And my
Mhm.
grandma went to school there when she was little. She's passed away now. And then up the street, half of my family's buried in this cemetery that's nearby there. And again, when doing a spirit box session there, I got the drum beats again randomly uh, at
Yeah,
one part in time when we were doing a spirit box session. It was weird.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely Conjuring is house is definitely in my top three for sure for
Yeah, I was
locations.
going to ask, what was your favorite
Mm.
location that you've ever investigated?
Mackie Mansion was insane.
Yeah.
Uh, Virginia City, Nevada. Yeah, that place literally the first time I investigated it, I had like everything you could think of happen except for the possession part. Everything. It was crazy. I like you got the voices, you got the objects being moved, thrown, a loud bang, the disembodied voice, which this is an interesting story. I wasn't filming. None of us were filming at the time. The previous owner of that place, this because we actually I was the first Soul Seekers, my old team. We're the first ones to ever do an episode at that place. There was no episodes out on that location until 2 years later. I think Ghost Fetchers did it, and so this was like a not very known haunted location. How active it is. We're like knocking it on the door because the previous owner was supposed to meet us there, but we couldn't find him, and we're knocking all over the place. We went to the garden area, knocked on that door. Then we hear a female voice. All three of us hear this. Dante, Violet, and myself hear. No one's here right now. Clear as day. All three of us hear it, uh, and uh, and then we're like, okay, that was weird. And then the owner finally gets there, and he based the I'll just he's not the owner anymore, so I could say I don't have a problem saying this, but he's a drunk, has some issues. This guy, and basically, I didn't put him in the video either. So basically, he he uh he was like off drinking at some bar or something like that, and he finally came over, and he says, yeah, he's the only one that lives there. There's no female in the house. And all
Yeah.
three of us heard it clear as day. I wish I was recording because we were not expecting. We were just trying to get access to the place, like what the deal that we had, because we were going to pay for it, and uh, I think he showed up like 30 minutes later or something like that. And yeah, we finally got access, and that turned out to be one of the most active investigations I've ever done.
It's Mackie's Mansion.
Yep, it's on my channel too, Devil's Eye Productions.
Okay.
It's older. So forgive me for the editing and voiceovers and the lack of knowledge from back then. Because
Yeah, or and lack of experience too, probably
yeah,
starting out and
I was
starting
a
out doing that.
teenager. I started at 16 years old. So at that time I was like 18 when I filmed that
Yeah.
one, or 19, 18 or 19 years old.
So you've been
And
doing your YouTube for a minute then, huh?
oh yeah, except I changed channels. So basically, my first ever channel, which was super cringe, when I was 16 years old, I created Paranormal Extreme Crew, and yeah, it sounds bad. And then I, j- the thing is, during that time, I had people that I invited to do these investigations with me. They were not in it like I was. They were just, there for the thrill seeking part of it. Uh, Me, I was more fascinated and wanted to understand what was going on. So basically, I was
Yeah.
just having my friends come along and to do these investigations, and it wasn't the same. Like I'm the one that's paying for everything, the one that's all passionate and everything. So
Hmm.
I actually joined another team when I met Dante. He was from he was on Travel Channel for Soul Seekers, a paranormal challenge. So he was. So I found him from Temecula YouTube videos of paranormal stuff, because I lived in Temecula at the time. And I was looking for haunted locations around me. Uh, as a kid, like, you can't really travel that far if you don't have your own car and everything. So I was staying in my area, and so I basically found some of his videos. I contacted him. He seemed passionate like me. So then I started working with Dante, and then I joined Soul Seekers. So those original episodes I edited back in 2013 and 2014 are now, they were on Soul Seekers for a long time, and I just recently re-uploaded them last year on my channel, just so just to build more content on my channel. And they're old, very cringe, because I say some stupid stuff in it, and also some things that I could easily debunk now as not being evidence. But back in the day, like, I was believing in that. So it's Mackie Mansion. Oh yeah, and also twice I've been to Mackie Mansion, and two times. Every time I've been to Mackie Mansion, someone got scratched so far. And it's interesting because the new caretaker to the location said that no one's ever been scratched there except for when I was there.
Wow.
So that's weird. Find that interesting.
It kind of reminded me of Jason. Sometimes he gets stuff thrown at him at places we
Oh
go to.
yeah, like when Jason from the haunted side.
Oh no, this Jason.
Oh
No,
sorry.
we
Oh
met
sorry, sorry,
him
sorry,
too,
sorry.
though. Does he
Yeah, yeah,
also get stuff thrown at him?
yeah, because he got hit in the head with a rock when I did an investigation with him. So
Oh my gosh!
so that's
This Jason hasn't got hit in the head yet with a rock, but
he
he's
should have
gotten
been
hit
wearing
with
my
stuff.
special helmet. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. I guess it could serve a purpose in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely get more of the physical stuff happen to me.
That's the type of stuff I like.
I don't know
So what do
that
you
we
think
want to
about
talk about this. I just wanted
Mhm.
to answer this person back. If you want to message me privately, I can help you with that. But I don't know if we want to spend, like, that would take a long time to explain this, and it would be a lot of details involved. So if you private message me, then I'll answer you back.
It's funny we have
Go ahead.
all these connections to the Conjuring house, but we've never been there. It's on our bucket list so bad, but you got Corey and Jen that are selling it.
Oh, I thought
You
they were
know,
only selling it if it was like someone actually paid up that million some dollars. I forgot how much it was uh, for the location. Someone's actually going to pay that.
it was like 2 point something million or what it was, but
Damn.
the thing about that is it's possible that they would sell it. Who knows if the new owner would let anybody even investigate in there? But
That's not a bad deal, because you can literally use that money and go get another location
Or two.
and
yeah,
still make a lot of money off of that, because that place is infamous. It's very well known. It's definitely one of the most infamous haunted locations right now. The Conjuring House, and then I think that goes up with Waverly Hills and stuff like that. So it's very well known. So if he sold it, that's like probably the only place you could possibly get like that much money. Or Amityville. Someone sold Amityville, you could probably get that much too. But yeah, so
yeah, it's I just hope maybe we can get there before they make a sale. So
Yeah.
you know,
The good news is that they said that they're selling it to someone that will continue the allowing investigations. So even if it was sold to someone else, there will still be investigations allowed.
that'd be good. The first I
That's
think
what
the
he
first
said in his
thing
post.
I think the first thing they both said together is they wasn't going to sell it to Zach Bagans. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has the money to buy it. He does.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Oh, let me dig in my pocket. Here you go. I'll buy it right now."
Yeah, if
But
I had the money, I would do it, but I don't.
Oh, for
So,
sell your soul first and then go buy it.
sure.
So the Mackey's Mansion is one of your top three, and then the Conjure House is your one of your top three. What's your other third top three then?
Lassen County Hospital was the one where I had the most poltergeist activity in my life,
Yeah,
and
where's
I've been
that
doing this
one?
for 10 years, and I've never experienced this level of poltergeist activity. This one is definitely the most active, but part of me thinks this is Patrick. I believe he's the poltergeist case. I don't think it's the location. I think he's the poltergeist.
You mean
So
Patrick from Haunted Side
yes,
because he was
I,
there when it happened, or
not just that. I was with him in 3 different locations. Things are thrown, and on top of that, you go watch his episodes. Things are moved all the time in his episodes. So I do believe he's a real poltergeist case, and so I don't know. I can't really say this is the location. I could for sure. So that's why it's hard for me to put on the list because I don't think it's the location. I personally think it's Patrick. Uh, it's incredible, and I want to study it more. It's definitely something I wish I had. I wish I was a poltergeist, but I'm not. So
it'd be awesome to
it,
go back there and just check everything out again. If he wasn't with you, just to kind of cross check
he knows
everything.
my theory on him.
We've
I've told
met
him a
him.
couple
He was a
times.
pretty cool guy. We got to investigate with him once, and I didn't. He's a mace. He has a Masonic background, and he's a Mason.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that would be. It's kind of different. So I would say top 2 locations would be Mackie Mansion or Conjuring House because I don't think that's the location itself personally. Very different.
Yeah.
That was an
Where was that
insane
one at?
location. That
Where
was in
was
Susanville, California.
California? Okay.
For the Lasson County Hospital. Yeah, it wasn't very well investigated. And now it was burned down. So I think Patrick and I
Oh,
are the only ones that have made episodes out of that place. So
that stinks.
uh,
Yeah.
that I know of. I could double check, but yeah, I don't think there's any other episodes except for Patrick and I that have made something out of it. So that's cool. No, sorry, not cool because I would like other people to experience it if it is the location. But I do know that another group of people, paranormal YouTuber, Ryan from Twin Paranormal, told me that he did investigate the Alaska County Hospital before it was burned down, and they said they didn't get anything, so they just didn't put out an episode on it. So
Yeah, and have you been to Waverly? You've been to Waverly, haven't you?
yeah, it was more sounds and a weird energy on the 4th floor that I felt there. And yeah, I've been to Bobby Mackey's also. Bobby Mackey's. I some very interesting ITC responses. I'm just not huge on ITC because it's very debunkable. There's a
Yeah.
lot of it could easily say it's just you can't. You have to do certain methods to actually show that it's actual audio manipulation, and I give tools for that. I got 2 apps out so you can try it out yourself, and so far no one has recreated it. So audio manipulation through ITC, I think, is a lot more rare than people think. So I think it's a lot of pareidolia in ITC, and I feel like I get crazier responses with radio than I do with the apps. The apps I feel like is just the same old sounds. And I have my own app where you could cross check it. So it's called Scientia ITC. It stands Latin for science and knowledge, and
How do you spell it?
SCIETIA. think it was. And then did I say SC in the beginning? Did I say SC?
Yeah. And
Okay,
it's Latin
sure.
for science, though, right?
Science and knowledge, or knowledge is power. So that's basically what it means. And so it's basically on my logo too. It's on my logo too, right here. So Cynthia.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, it looks Scientia. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
There. And
It's
so
cool that you did it in Latin. I like using different languages for people to have to decode
I
them
love
so they
Latin.
don't know what it means.
I literally have Latin tattooed on me, so I like Latin.
Yeah.
I like ancient stuff. So, but yeah, basically, so that's the name of the app. And there's also the most popular one that I made was Solomon. A lot of people have used Solomon around
I've
the
heard of
world.
it several times.
Yeah, I made Solomon because I wanted to use it as a more of a social experiment to get people creeped out and to see if that will cause more activity.
Oh yeah, for emotional stimulation to cause more activity.
Yeah, causing emotional stimulation. I use the Lord's Prayer backwards in a very weird voice, and it creeps out a lot of different people.
Probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked if you had any experiences at the Conjure House that were not documented.
I know that Joe did. He heard like this voice of a kid saying "daddy" or something like that, and
he thought he saw you.
Oh, that was Eric. Oh yeah, both of them. Eric was more like, yeah, that was definitely me. Joe was just like, he thought it was me. He wasn't 100% though. So he says his initial thought it was me, but he didn't say, yes, I saw your face or something like that. The other, when it comes to Eric though, he apparently straight up saw me. So that's weird. And it's also weird because of everything that happened, everything leading up. So it was like I was being targeted the entire time I was there. So.
Wow.
Or it also, I don't know if you believe in this stuff, but like past history, like a past life person that could have possibly ever stayed there, visited there, dwelled there, lived there, that might have looked like you and might have made you have some even, more connection.
He saw me wearing the Paranormal Research Unit shirt, and I was wearing that day.
But
he's like, same shirt, same everything. And I was actually, so I went inside to go find my camera and get my jacket, this exact same jacket I'm wearing. I went to go get that because it's a little chilly out, and also I was looking for my other camera because I was getting B-roll done. And I did not pop back out in a t-shirt with no jacket or a camera once. I was inside the entire time. When I went inside, I did not come out until I had the jacket on and my camera. So he saw me apparently outside with my t-shirt on, and I was like, yeah, that didn't happen. It never came out. So that was weird.
I waved at my microphone.
I did think it was weird that he said that. For some reason, I didn't take it that seriously though at the time until everything started adding up weirdly. One thing I wish I added to the film that I didn't think about until after it was finished. Remember the whole 7 thing?
Yeah.
So that book that kept getting pushed down, the exact same book.
I was going to ask you if it had anything to do with 7.
It was bookmarked at 7-7.
Was it?
Oh, wow.
I don't know why that popped in my mind too when y'all were saying that the book might have had something 7 on it.
Yeah, it was bookmarked at that, and I thought that was a little weird. I didn't make that connection until after I was finished editing the film, though. Maybe I should put it into the extras of the disc.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Or even make a post of like a photo of the spine or the number of it or whatever. Make a post.
Yeah, I took a photo.
Book, that was there, and it also had 7 on it too. Because I feel like that's like your life number or something. That if it keeps haunting you over and over again, there's some kind of great meaning of that number for you specifically.
Yeah, the number I see everywhere is 117.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always see 817, 817 everywhere. Literally, ask Jason. I'll see it in the most random, stupid, freaking place that has no business having a number on it, and it'll be there. And I'm like, "What are you doing, universe? What do you want me to know? Just tell me."
Yeah, for me, it's everywhere too. Like either the time, I look at the time at exactly at that time, or I I see it on the taxi, or I see it, and literally when I'm watching a show, I see it as the number of the hotel room.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
like it's weird. It pops up everywhere. So
That's crazy.
it is crazy.
yeah,
I think numbers, though, they mean a lot, and especially if they're synchronized and they're repetitive, then they
I
mean
looked it
something for
up.
you.
Apparently, it's angel numbers is what they call it, and basically the meaning behind 117 is that basically you're on the right path, and you're doing everything you need to, basically.
That's
So
good. Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. I usually research angel numbers too. But that's a good message or for that number that you're on your
yeah,
right path.
yeah.
It's not like, hey, you're being warned, you're going the wrong direction, and that would be if you kept saying
Joshua
that.
says editing must be extremely difficult. It's the most time-consuming thing I've ever done in my life. That's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't
Nothing
even
beats
done
it.
anything like you have, and I've just edited those tiny videos like I made at the beginning of this show. It took forever, so I can't imagine making a whole movie that's 2
Dude,
hours long.
this is the longest I've ever had my layers. I've never had this many layers in anything I've edited before. It was only this film. I had about 80 to 90 layers, and that is insane. The most I've ever done before that is probably 30, and so that's like 50 more than my most in
Yeah,
the past.
that's a lot. Well, it turned out
So
good, and it was very high quality. So the work
yeah,
shows. The hours that you sat in that chair and did that shows. Gina asked if you've ever been to the Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas.
no, I had never investigated anywhere in Texas, but I want to because I like Texas. I like their laws there.
Myself and Jason have been there before.
Yeah,
I've been there before. I just haven't investigated there.
Yeah. My birthday is the 7/7. 11 is a gateway number. Is it?
The gateway to hell. Just kidding.
Gateway to somewhere.
No, just kidding.
Didn't you guys talk about a gateway in the film? Y'all talked about a door being open. I
Oh.
remember. There was a message sent before you went there about some kind of door being open.
Basically, Eric, he's more the spiritual guy. That was in the YouTube team. We call it the YouTube team because we're all different investigators. They're not in my team. Paranormal Research Unit wasn't able to make it at the time, so we decided. I talked to Joe about filming there, and he says he was down, and then we decided to look for other YouTubers and just do a YouTube collab, and I found Billy and Eric, and I wanted Eric because he brings this energy that's
I watched him
more
before. I
hyper.
watched him quite a bit.
Yeah, so the reason why I think that's good is I feel like that helps with activity personally in my theories. People with higher energy or more scared, I believe, for some reason, activity's higher. Because if it's just Joe and I, which Joe and I are extremely calm when it comes to this stuff, we most of the times when we investigate each other, we get pretty much absolutely nothing because we're super calm in the location.
Not even grandpa spirits or grandma spirits.
Yeah, like it's happened multiple times. So that's why I'm like, I need another person that's either scared or have a lot of energy to investigate with me, or it's going to be boring again and get nothing again.
Or they're just like all jacked up on some caffeine. I have a friend that has.
I drink caffeine all the time, but it's more than that. I think it's just I feel like when I first started out, I was getting a lot of activity, but I was more excited about everything.
Yeah.
Like I was
now you're looking for that next level. You're like, what next? Because I've already seen everything, basically.
Yeah, basically, because now I'm doing things to heighten things a little bit. Like I recently, the episode I'm trying to edit right now, I was handcuffed inside the building for an hour.
Oh my gosh!
By myself, just to heighten things, just make things more interesting. And anything can happen. Something could fall on top of me, or something bad, an stray animal get to me. Anything can happen.
Yeah, the roof collapse. We have
some random person coming in.
Yeah, chemical attack.
Not like that, but anything can happen to where you can't get out, so it adds a little bit, like you're stuck. So
yeah,
I like that now because I am numb to paranormal now.
It's kind of like some sauce. You just add some sauce to it.
Yeah, so
Some
I'm
kind of
now
special
doing
sauce.
things a little bit like I even did Man versus Paranormal, which I was trying to make into a documentary, but it wasn't filmed to my standards. So I was like, because I didn't have enough cameras when I did the being alone part, and I was like, this is going to be boring in this edit. So I'm like, I'm going to redo it in the future and do it somewhere else. But the footage I did capture, I'm going to be using towards another documentary. But it's not going to be Man vs. It's not going to be called Man vs. Paranormal. It's going to be a different film. That's the plan, at least. We'll see what happens. If the documentary doesn't work out for that one, I'm just going to release the footage that was captured. It's some cool stuff in certain aspects. But I was a little nervous and scared a little bit for the first time I did it at the Randolph County Infirmary, which was my first time to being alone at a location for 3 days. And so an asylum is kind of creepy when you're like, you can't call for anyone. You're just there. I just watched what was the name of that channel? What's their name? They have Paranormal Nightmares or something like that. Is their actual channel now? But it was a different channel name before that. Come to
What
me,
is it
brain.
about? Like, what
Basically, they investigated that place and they caught some crazy stuff. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And so, like this loud ass screech, and also when I was filming there earlier, a door was slammed. So, and then another time when I was there by myself, because at the very beginning I had Adam Kimball and a couple other guys with me. At the very beginning, though, we all heard a door slam when we were filming B-roll stuff, so that was cool. And then later, when I was by myself on day 2, I think, there's a big loud bang, and I'm the only one in the building. So I was like, that was interesting. It was caught on camera too. I set my Nikon camera on the floor while I was setting up cable for my night vision camera to charge. Oh wait, no, I think I was using his Jacob's ladder is what I was trying to plug up to get ready, and possibly a night vision camera too. So I was trying to get a couple things set up with power. It was during the daytime, and all of a sudden I just hear a loud ass bang. It's like interesting. So maybe I should recover that footage. It'd be the lost footage around F County Infirmary.
That'd be cool to see.
Oh wait, no, that's the one. That was the one that I don't think can be recovered because apparently there's a big ass scratch in the disc. So, because when I was reviewing evidence for that one, I was laying in bed. It was on my nightstand for the hard drive. It's a plug-in hard drive, and then I just moved a bit, and it just fell down and then scratched.
Oh man, this stinks. I hate it when you lose a piece of evidence that you know you're going to have some. Most likely, you're going to have something. Because one time
this is why I learned. Sorry, keep going.
We were me and one of our team members that passed away not too long ago went to an Indian cemetery by ourselves one night. I think Jason was working, and our other guy, I don't know what he was doing, probably taking care of some family member. And we went to an Indian cemetery one night, and I got the creepiest, craziest, like ghoulish sounding, long drawn out noise. I would just say it sounded like a ghoul, and it was good evidence. I took it to the guy that used to be our equipment guy, and he erased it.
Oh man!
I was like, "Don't you know how to work this at your equipment? I wanted you to transfer it onto a thumb drive or an SD card so we could keep it."
Yeah, that's why I say to always back up your footage because anything can happen to the hard drive.
Yeah,
I did have. So that Randolph County Infirmary thing was not recovered, but the other one, I did 3 different other locations for the Man vs. Paranormal film, and it was the Monroe House, Dickens Sports School, and the House of Wills, where I was stuck in those 3 buildings by myself. Sorry, hiccups. And then it's in Columbus, Ohio. Sorry, not Columbus. It was what was that bad city? Fuck. What was it?
Never been there. I've heard of it though a lot.
Brain. Work brain.
No, it's okay. I could look it up probably, but it's called the House of Wheels.
Yeah, I'll look it
I
up.
think I've heard of it. That's why I was asking. I think I've heard of it on some other people's YouTube channel or something.
Cleveland, Ohio. Jesus Christ.
Okay, there. Yeah, Josh Bender's like
Josh
Cleveland.
Bender reminded me. He was
Thank
there.
you, Josh. Thank you. Was he there?
Yeah, he was there filming with me, and except for the time where I poured my blood all over me for a shot.
I saw that too. That was a pretty cool shot, though. Like from a photographer's standpoint, because I do photography, that was a pretty cool photo.
Yeah,
you took it and edited it and posted it. It was pretty cool. Pretty awesome photo.
I love. It's one of my favorite photos that was taken. Basically, I set it up on a tripod, and I had Justin snap it with the electronic thing after I positioned everything I wanted. So I just had him, and it looked and did everything I was hoping it would do. I wanted to drip down my entire arm and go around on top of the crucifix, dripping down.
Yeah, and down the rosary.
And it did it.
Yeah, that awesome. Looked cool. It looked like something fake, like something out of a movie. Like you're just like, would that really do that? Did it really work like that? It's awesome. Gravity works like that, I guess.
Yeah, it works better than I expected. And the reason why I didn't use the reason why I didn't use fake blood is because it stains your skin. So if I needed to retake the shot, it'll look horrible because it dyes your skin red. So I used my real blood. Did some I know a phlebotomist. Let's just say that. Technically, you can't legally do that, but just draw blood to give to yourself. But basically, I know someone that just did it for me. So, and then I kept the tubes and I used the blood for the shot.
That's really good.
That's cool. He said so strange, but on several devices we had the same EVP, but on several other devices it was erased after years, but remains on mine. Why would it erase on some but not others? That's kind of cool, but kind of weird too.
I don't know.
Hey Liz. Hey Ken.
So how big of does tricks with your mind come into play when you're doing an investigation by yourself in one of those places? Like
the longer I've been doing this, like the more I understand all of it, and like all the things that used to play tricks on your mind, it doesn't really anymore because I'm just so aware of it. And going to creepy locations, they don't like phase me anymore. So basically, when I know when I do feel something, it's actually feels legit because creepy locations don't affect me anymore. I could go through an asylum and feel nothing, like a very creepy asylum, and be like, okay, didn't feel anything in this one. Then go to some other place that's like a nice house. Let's just say that, and then it has a different vibe, and it's like, okay, this is weird. So yeah, there's definitely, I feel like I'm sensitive. I'm not medium or anything, but I feel like I am sensitive to these energies. And I had evidence to back it up because, for example, at the Monroe house, I could sense natural EMF too, because I went by this power box that it didn't have sound or anything to it. It was I just feel something weird in this room, and sure enough, there's a power box and it's in the Ouija board room. You guys, if you go to the Monroe house, you can check it out yourself. How it gives off a shit ton of EMF. I was like, oh, so that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this power box. And so I'm sensitive to EMF and weird energies like that. And so, so when you go into a building with no power, then all of a sudden you feel those same weird energies. It's definitely strange.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to train yourself. Like you're practicing training yourself to feel that stuff, though. In a way, your spidey sense kind of, you're charging it up. But I don't know if you know this too, like you can even magnetize things by sitting them up against something like that for such a long time to where they will set off an EMF detector later on. Like that Ouija board, if you were sitting it on that box for a long, long time, I don't know specifically if that material will hold it, but if you were using something and sitting it there for a long time, just per se, a random object, and it stayed there for months and you used it later on, you'd still take it outside and put it in your car and take your EMF detector and it would still carry that magnetic charge instead of your EMF detector.
House of Wills is the perfect place to get those type of creep vibes, right? But I had 0 in there. It was interesting because I had individuals I was interviewing about the place because they were legitimately afraid of that place,
Oh, wow.
and we felt things there. When they were there, I was feeling weird things, and as personal experiences there, they left, everything gone. I was like, this is why I have such a huge strong belief in like us as individuals when it comes to paranormal activity because, like I said, fear or excitement.
Manifesting thought forms and poltergeist activity caused by
Yeah,
humans and people.
a lot
Yep,
of times, yeah.
a
And
lot.
so, like when they left, all 3 days I was there, I didn't experience shit.
I
It's a
usually know
creepy
that if
place.
we go
It's a creepy looking
somewhere,
place. Yeah.
like you said, after they left, you didn't feel it anymore, right?
Yep. After they left, it was all gone.
Yeah, that's what I
And
usually do if we have a private investigation. We go in and talk to the family, and like everything's like crazy, like that their way that are explaining it, but then we're like crawling up in freaking attics and stuff, and nothing's happening. And I'm like, well, that's weird because nothing's happening to me.
so basically, like for example, like that place like literally has Jesus Christ cut in half with having sex with Mary with their intestines and brains falling out.
Oh my
It's like
god.
that's the type of statue that they have there that has those type of artifacts in that place, and it's perfect place to have like those creep vibes people talk about just based off location. But I'm so desensitized by haunted locations and creepy buildings that it doesn't affect me. And so there literally has to be some kind of energy for me to actually feel something. So that was a perfect example to where I didn't feel anything the entire time I was there, even though that was a perfect place to be considered creepy. So you also have some
Yeah.
impaled babies in there too. So
Oh Lord. Yeah, that sounds like it would definitely have something.
yeah,
Yeah.
just look up the House of Wills.
Like
It's
wheels you like on your car wheels? Wheels, those kind of wheels?
WILLS.
Okay, like you died and you have a wheel.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I've heard of that place before, like I've heard people talk
That
about it.
place, let's just say it was filmmaking heaven though. I loved filming there.
Yeah, because all of
That
the
was like
aesthetic.
best. It was my favorite B-roll of the film. Well, film I got canceled.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's still probably an experience to get to go there. Wayne asked, "How do you deal with things that are attached to you?"
Things don't really attach to me anymore. I don't
Or
think.
Wayne
I'd
asked.
say I say I don't think because obviously you can't 100% know. I guess, uh, but I don't believe I have anything attached to me. And like I would say when I first started out, I felt like things followed me home, or it was just maybe me creating the activity. Like I said, that I started to learn after 10 years of doing this. If people, it's more involved to people, and so it was probably me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was first starting out, I was like, 100% believer. I was even religious back then too. So it was like I had all these like beliefs in my head when I first started out. So it heightened activity. And now I'm a completely different person than then. And activity has decreased tremendously for me. I have to be around certain individuals most of the time for me to have good activity.
Mhm.
Because now I'm more of a scientific uh, and let's say just trying to find natural explanations for everything
Yeah, I was
is
gonna
what I try to
say
do now.
the fact that you do that also probably debunks half of the stuff that you might have thought
Oh yeah,
before
like most of
10
it.
years ago was a paranormal experience because you were just wanting to believe so badly. Like a lot of people, when you do private investigations, they just want to believe so badly that there's something going on there, and you don't really know how to tell them that you're not getting anything. And I can
Yeah,
go in, and if I'm like super sensitive and I still don't get anything, I don't see anything, I don't feel anything, I don't hear anything, and then I bring in equipment and we don't get anything on any of that, and we do EVPs and we do audio and we video and we still don't get anything, and I'm like, I've been here 5 times. We haven't got anything. I'm telling you.
you you know what it's like when it comes to these big locations too. Speaking of equipment, like everyone should purchase a deadlight.
I
It's
do want one of those. When
deadlights.
you said that, I was like, I've
Deadlights
always wanted one.
are amazing. Like they
Yeah.
reach extremely far, about 40 watts or 60 watts, depending on which one you get of
Mhm.
IR. It's amazing. I love it. Actually, uh, J- Josh is building me a special helmet. So basically, my helmet design that I created, he's making his own IR lights, putting it built into the helmet. So it's going to be the only one on Earth, by the way. So it's going to be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have like a hunting app, but it's gonna be like a hunting protective.
That's
ghost
my
hunting.
favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite piece of equipment I've created, and now I have my Lucius Fox, known as Josh Bender,
Yeah, is that
making the helmet even better. He's helped me out. I'm also sponsored by Deadlight, but I'm not just saying that because I'm sponsored by him. I actually really believe in the product and think it's the best IR lights in the business. You can literally drop this thing, and I've heard about it being ran over by a truck one time and still working. That's how good.
Oh wow,
these,
that's
how,
really
how high
good.
quality these lights are. Yeah.
That's really cool. So
What about Adam?
what's your opinion on like the guys on the TV shows versus for what we actually do?
TV. TV is mostly entertainment. A lot of YouTubers are doing that too. The I think there's some interesting things that Ghost Hunters was trying to do. That I agree with more. And there's so much that we need to uncover. We also need people that are way smarter than us working on this, working in this field. The thing is that the paranormal field is not being taken seriously because to us, we look like idiots compared to these actual scientists, physicists.
Yeah. They're not doing it for the thrill-seeking reasons. They're doing it for like actual.
Yeah, so
curiosity.
we actually need people that are way smarter than us actually involved in the field, and I wish they could take it more seriously. They just need to hopefully one day experience a paranormal occurrence on their own to where they're like, okay, now I'm curious. But so far, there's only very few people that are trying to bring the scientific method into the paranormal. There's not many. I can count them on my hand. So that I know of, and so it's a very small amount. And so
actually, we don't work with any other people besides just us two, sort of for some of those reasons, because there were some people we were working with that were creating things, making them happen, fake stuff, and I was just like, I don't want to be associated like that.
Thing is, everything should be able to be cross-checked to prove that's actually a not natural phenomena, and also collecting data, and also building equipment that I don't think anyone could afford unless you're rich. So it's like,
or you can build it yourself. One of the two: build it yourself, rich.
Yeah.
If you learn how to build it
just
yourself,
be extremely
then
intelligent to build it your own. But like the cloud chamber, for example. Those are very interesting devices that I would like to see implicated in the paranormal, but they're very for big ones. It takes a lot of power and it's hard to move around, so you can't go to location with it. This basically the cloud chamber shows radiation decay and ions, and it's very intriguing because it looks very similar to some stories about mist figures and misty apparitions and stuff like that. It looks very similar to that when it manifests, but you have to put it in a very cold environment, and it's hard to contain it because it has to be the same temperature throughout the whole entire box of the cloud chamber, and it's not being put in the field because it's very expensive and hard to build, and it's also not very portable. You could build a small one.
Would that like reveal mold spores or black mold and stuff like that, or condensation rather than an actual apparition figure?
No, it's more. It's showing actual particles of as in electrons, and radiation decay and stuff like that. It's really cool. I can show you videos. It's pretty.
Yeah, I would like to know what radiation decay is. I would like to know more about radiation decay.
It's so basically, Justin Brown thought of this idea, and I agree with it, and I want it to be implicated. It's just expensive, and you need a location to dedicate that place to. I think like high activity of apparitions would be, for example, Birdcage Theater. I hear all the time that people are seeing apparitions there.
Do you say
I think,
birdcage?
yeah, I would think it would be cool to have one of those inside a Birdcage Theater to see if you can get things manifesting.
Is birdcage theater in Vegas?
No, it's
No.
Tombstone.
Okay.
Tombstone,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a bucket list I want to go to. I want to go to that place.
Yeah, apparitions are very common there. Any place that has a high activity of apparitions, I'm more interested in for using the cloud chamber. And I think another one would be what's the name of this place? My brain isn't working as well because I have a headache. But basically, there's another Rolling Hills Asylum. I hear as a apparition that's seen there a lot. So, like, you want to go to those high apparition accounts.
Which asylum?
Hot spots. Rolling Hills Asylum. It's in Ebony, New York.
Rolling Hills. I like the asylums. Those are probably my favorite.
Yeah, Rolling Hills is my favorite. Sorry, I meant to say asylums are my favorite too, just because of the coolest to film.
Yeah, and the like stories, like you can just imagine what kind of stories you're not going to know.
And usually has a lot of deaths that you could back
Yeah.
up because some places there's not really any deaths there. That for some reason it's haunted. So people are saying, yeah.
And I think they would have a high energy. The living when things were living there, those would have had a high energy.
Yeah.
Before they passed away.
Have you tackled anything with Gettysburg?
I've always wanted to investigate Gettysburg. That has a lot of residual activity there. So very interesting. People see a lot of apparitions there too. But I think a lot of the apparitions are just residual. It's because people hear these cannon fire, these and musket rounds being shot all the time there. It's very intriguing.
Tina.
And just apparitions that doesn't seem to respond to anyone, just walks by.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely like to go there, man. I've seen some crazy videos for just
I've seen the video of the apparition that got viral. That was really cool. It looks pretty legit too.
It does. Someone asked if you think spirit boxes are a waste of time and just radio.
It's for scientific means, yes, but for your own opinions, like here's the thing, I've used radio stuff before, and I have had things where it's like very direct responses. It sounded like, but the thing is, you can't cross check it using radio in that way. You would have to know exactly what channels you're scanning through, because you have channels that bleed through. When it's scanning, it's going to bleed through other channels of the same radio because of the frequency. Small differences in frequency changes will do that. But what if you did a bigger jump with the radio frequencies? Maybe that'll help a little bit. So you're just getting just not thought of an idea.
We do have a friend that I got some equipment from that actually has a piece of equipment that's like a spirit box, but it actually goes on the frequencies, the lower frequencies that aren't usually transmitted to.
Yeah.
And it picks up through those ones. So if you get an actual response through those, it's less likely to be a signal that's being put out by some kind of radio station or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's definitely some things that could possibly be done with it, but as of right now, how people are using it, it cannot definitively prove it's paranormal because of you can't cross check it. Like I said, for example, I made the ITC app because I was giving you an option to cross check. I didn't go into details yet, but I can give it now. Basically, I created with Matt Payne an app to where you have an audio that sounds just like a bank. So here's the difference. The issue with people's banks that they use, it's randomized. Say with radio stations, it's randomized. The sounds, you don't know what is what. You can't cross check. It's impossible. So I take away the randomization. Basically, it sounds exactly like a bank, except it's just an audio file. So if you believe in audio manipulation, at some locations, this should be able to maybe be manipulated. And so it has a timer too when you press it, the bank, and so if you're videotaping it, you know exactly what point of the audio you're at, and you can cross check it. If you think you heard like a straight up voice responding to you, you can download the exact same audio on Google Drive, and then cross check it to see if that audio was manipulated, because the audio doesn't change; it stays the exact same. So,
I also have the S box, and you can put a card in it so you can record it and stuff. Record your sessions or whatever.
Yeah, here, look. Oh wait, I forgot.
No question.
Are you talking about ITC Collaboration Pro? No, Cinchia ITC, and another app is Solomon, which I really liked. I like that one a lot because I love creeping people out, and I'm very good at that.
I have a feeling Jason's going to listen to it as soon as possible.
Do you what kind of phone do you have? Because it's only for Google Google Store, App Store.
Yeah, I have an Android. So.
Okay, if you have an Android, you can download it.
Okay, cool.
Us iPhone users, I just recently got the iPhone, so I won't be able to download an iPhone. I was about to show it to you, and I was like, "Oh crap, I don't have it anymore. I forgot." See, Solomon scares her. I did my job because
I've heard of it before, like someone using it before. I've never used it, and I've never been with anybody on an investigation to use it, but I've heard of people telling me or saying stuff about it.
Yeah, it has over 10,000 downloads as of right now, and it's being used all over the world because it's. I've seen videos in England, people using it, different countries. So I thought that was cool. I think one in Australia once too, and so it got a little popular. I think just because of the Lord's Prayer thing. It's been on Travel Channel too, my app, because. Yeah, and it was funny because it was for the Paranormal Caught on Camera show, and basically they're using my Solomon app, playing it, and then a door gets shut, and they catch it on camera. And so, as of what I'll say, because one of the guys commented when he was there, he's like, "That app is creepy as hell, dude." It scares him, and so I was like, "Yes, exactly what I was hoping for." And then when he says that, a little bit later, door gets shut. So it's my theory being backed up, maybe.
Yeah. The door shutting adds to the scariness.
Yeah, but he was saying he was creeped out from the app before that happened.
But you were talking about like fear being peaked and like coming into a location with that fear on the rise, like.
So people that are religious or easily creeped out, I like to use that app for those people. For people like
I'm religious, but I'm not easily creeped out.
Yeah, so for people like that and like me, it won't do anything. So
now, if the door shut, that would creep me out more because it's physically something I saw that happened, and no one was there, and I was like, "What just happened?"
I need to get a cheap Android just so I can have my apps, because Matt Payne's apps are only Android use. I wish it was on both, but it's not. So
I don't be able to use them.
I just recently switched to iPhone just because of the better quality video that they have now. So
I don't know. I never wanted to switch over to the dark side. Hey, good.
Yeah, it took me a while to switch back to iPhone because I was Android for a long time, and then I finally switched just because I saw the specs and watched all the videos comparing iPhones and the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and it looked like it was a little bit better, especially when it came to the Gaussian cinematic mode, like using that Gaussian blur for the backgrounds and stuff like that. It was a lot more intelligent than I think any phone out there right now, actually. And so the portrait mode and stuff like that also amazing. So that's why I switched to that. But
I just like the cameras.
Yeah, that's 41 Ultra has better zoom though, zoom lens.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever been to a location where it looked like, or that someone had done like seances or like demonic, like incantations and like conjuring and stuff?
Yep, House of Wheels.
That one? It happened, really? Huh.
Not when everyone left. Like I said, in the fear
Yeah.
aspect.
No.
Yep.
So
I
if you
think
were
it also
going to,
happened. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're gonna, give some people an advice about what kind of gear or equipment to use, like if they're just starting out, what would you suggest?
Um, what kind of gear equipment? I always say camera and audio is the two best ones to get.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you get to capture your experience. I like POV cameras a lot just because it's a wide view, a lot more you can catch. I like to use the Zoom Q2N. It's not that much money either, and I got it. It is color, so you have to get it the lens taken out and put in a unfiltered lens, and so it
Yeah.
creates it to full spectrum. That's I had Justin Brown do that for me. I set in my Zoom Q2N and I bought the lens, and he put that together for me because it is a little tricky. Is what I was told, and you want it focused too. You need the lens focused, so that's another thing.
I always
I don't know anything about that, but I know about switching out lenses and stuff like that, and putting a different lens in it to make it like that. But I don't know. I guess,
Yeah, it's a bit
like, I
different
know
than
how to,
a.
use a camera and focus it in and out while I'm using it, but I know what you
Uh,
mean.
it's different with this one because it's a PO. It's a small camera. It's a POV.
Okay.
It's on my helmet.
Okay. Yeah, like a dash camera, like a yeah, I know what you're talking about, like a GoPro or
Yeah,
something, sort of like that.
similar,
Yeah.
except way better audio. That's why I like the Zoom Q2N
Yeah.
because it has better audio than the GoPro. It's Zoom. Zoom is known for audio, so and it's
yeah.
cheaper than
Oh,
GoPro.
by the
If you
company. By the
yeah,
company
Zoom the
Zoom?
company.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Awesome. I didn't know they had
it's
stuff.
it's way better because I like having I like having my hands free to investigate, so I can gather other equipment
Yeah.
or do other things, or because I for some reason get into a lot of weird places to where I climb into things, and so it's good to have my hands free for those type of things. And so my POV cam helmet helps out a lot. So has an IR battery pack on it, everything I need. It also has a light too. It's one of those tack helmets. I don't know if you ever seen it.
I've seen one helmet that you have on your profile photo. It's
And
got the
also
stuff on
it's
it.
in the film at the end.
Yeah, is it the same one?
Yes, I was wearing the same
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, you're getting a new one though, aren't you?
Yeah, getting it updated by Josh Bender. I built
Mhm.
that entire helmet, but he's adding the lights to it. So he's gonna cut holes into it and put lights through it. So it's gonna be cool.
That's
But
cool.
you have a deadlight on your camera rig too, though, don't you?
Oh yeah,
The deadlight on it, yeah.
yeah. I have
Yeah.
the I have the Necro.
She was talking about earlier that she wanted you guys camera rig.
Yeah, I was like, man, I want that camera rig. I was just thinking when I was watching you, I was like, man, that's sweet. I would love to
Yeah,
have that.
yeah. The Canon XA is definitely awesome. XA40 is what I have. The XA50 is a bit better. It has a 1-inch sensor. It's just that was $500 more, so I didn't have that much money. So, I mine was like 1,300 or something like that. So for that camera, it's really good.
Mhm.
Canon definitely has the best night vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use
I'm
a
I'm a
Canon for
big Sony
photography.
fan. Yeah, I'm a big Sony fan, but
Hmm.
those I have to admit, Canon destroys in night vision now. So I'm like, holy crap, this is so clear. It's like it reaches far, it's clear. Sony's my second favorite for night vision.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it so well.
Oh
Have
wow.
you heard of KD? Someone asked. Is it a camera brand?
Kill death ratio. Just kidding.
I was thinking Kat
uh,
Von D.
no.
Killer Donuts.
Katie. Have you heard Katie? No, I haven't heard Katie.
I haven't
I don't
either.
know what that is.
No. So man, you've been all these places. What's somewhere you really want to go that you haven't been yet?
That's a good
Bavaria
question.
and Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
What was the first one?
Pavalia.
Pavilion and Chernobyl. I haven't
Yeah.
heard of Pavilion, I don't think.
Oh, and Goldfield Hotel.
Goldfield.
I've been on the outside of it. I haven't gone in.
Yeah, that's an interesting place there.
Yeah. I've been to pretty much most of the other ones I've always wanted to go to, so been lucky.
Katie Stafford.
I still want to go to Rolling Hills and Birdcage Theater also.
Oh man,
Sorry, they said Stafford. Katie Stafford, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to look it up. I'm like, if I don't know what something is, I have to know. Like, it would keep me up at night if I don't know what something is, or a location that you said that I wrote down. I'm like, if I don't know what this is, and I have no clue, I've got to know what it is. I just have to know. Cool.
I love the Old Washoe Club. I literally have that place tattooed on me now, because that was the place that started it all for me. That's where I had the piece of brick thrown at me in 2011, and after that experience, I was like, I want to do this for a living now. And so, yeah. So I literally have it tattooed on me because it's part of my origin story of why I got into the paranormal, and also have here I'm gonna show it. It's like a shadow.
Yeah,
person.
you shouldn't talk about it if you're not going to show it to us. I'm like, what does that look like?
So it's like this.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
the shadow
looks like
guy.
that font is exactly the same font that the sign used to be at the Old Washoe Club, and so it made it look gothic and all that. And then the shadow person, I used to see shadow people when I was a kid all the time, and they looked similar to that. Minus the fingers thing. I just added that because I thought it was cool. I told him that for the feet because have you seen Insidious where it like points with those long ass fingers? That's what inspired that part of the tattoo. It's like that was cool looking, so I had that. But yeah, I've always seen shadow people that are just straight up just black masses when I was a kid, and they were humanoid shape, and so yeah, very weird.
Yeah, going there for just a second, you covered in the film about the real history of the Conjuring house and everything, and then because of the movie, a lot of people don't really understand or even heard about like Ed and Lorraine Warren actually being thrown out of the house before. That's something I come across when I was researching the Conjuring house. But
yeah, me too.
They get a big credibility and notoriety for it, but they've never really heard that part of it, so
yeah, that's exactly true. Their stories have been embellished, I heard, by their writing too when it comes to their books, and the author was doing that, and I think Ed Ward was all for that stuff. So
he was.
And
I've heard of so many people that knew him even.
Yeah, so I don't know about Lorraine Warren. I feel like it was mainly Ed Warren personally. That was all about that getting out there and getting all those books out there and wanting that. He actually wanted that first film to become a movie one day, and it did happen. He says that place would have been perfect or whatever. And so, yeah, I believe like they had definitely experienced some of the family, especially Cindy seems traumatized by that place. Like I've seen video of her trying to go back, and she was just breaking it down, and like it seemed like she had her own PTSD or something like that for that place.
Yeah,
it's and that's who I believe I felt that night during my personal experience.
Yeah,
and that's what Andrea Perrin backed.
She was the one that was dragged down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
The younger sister.
Yeah, that was Sydney Perrin.
I would understand the PTSD behind that. That would make sense.
And so that's what I didn't know that story, and that's exactly what I envisioned in my head when I was doing that seance. So didn't know the story. Literally interviewed Andrea Perrin like 1 week after our investigation, 1 or 2 weeks after our investigation. I was trying to do it beforehand actually, but it took a long time for her to respond. She finally responded after the filming was already done. And I was like, "It's okay if we record an interview with her and with you." And then she said yes, and we set it up. We did a Zoom call meeting, and 2 hours we talked.
That's awesome.
And only about 8 minutes of it went into the film.
Yeah, It sounded
of
like
her.
she was proud of like your passion for the actual truth behind what happened and to tell their story, though. That's good.
Yeah,
That's like I feel like that basically kind of like closes the cover on the book of your film by her saying that when you
yeah.
put that part in there that she said
Part
that.
of
That was really
editing is understanding storytelling and filmmaking,
yeah.
and I thought that would be a perfect what she said. So I always listen to what people say. I collect all that information, and I'm
Mhm.
literally editing things in my head before I actually do it. And that was in my head way before I even edited it. I was like, I
Mhm.
want to add that towards the end. I want to add this at this part. I want to have a specific order because everyone was interviewed separately, and then they all talked about similar things, and I added together make it flow very well. Because if I just interviewed one person for a whole entire segment, that would get boring if you just stay on one person for
Yeah.
a while. So I switched them back and forth, and got the most important information out of them, and the
Yeah.
most detailed information, and put it into the film. And it turned out that's actually one of my favorite parts of the film is the whole history part and their experiences.
Right. Yeah.
Who don't have very long lips, but I've got to get a drink because my throat is so dry. I'm gonna start having a coughing fit.
And I'm gonna go get Kleenex
Okay,
real quick. My nose is running sick.
So yeah. What's up, guys? I just get left to the wolves. You know, I'm used to it. It's cool. I hope everybody's having a great night and enjoying listening to Matt. So it's pretty cool that he came on the show. And, you know, shared his experience about the Conjuring House and all things paranormal. Uh, you know, it's cool that we were able to bring these guests here. So we're
Sorry.
really going to
Wow.
enjoy it.
Like
We love your feedback. So
Okay.
I've had a
Sorry
really
about
bad
that.
sinus infection. My throat just got so dry and itchy all of a sudden. I just was about to just
yeah,
go ham coughing on camera.
yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of Skinwalker Ranch. Actually, it's one of the very few times they actually had a team that were made of scientific individuals, people that work from NASA and physicists and all that. Actually, one rich guy, a businessman, I believe he was, created this team because he was a believer in the paranormal. And it was in the 90s, I believe, when they had him go into Skinwalker Ranch. Either 90s or early 2000s, I can't remember. And they investigated, I think, 4 years or 3 years. Can't remember how long, but they investigated for a while. And they did have personal experiences there. But the thing is, especially back then, it's very hard to find definitive data on these things, on paranormal events, because the thing about the scientific method is that you want to be able to recreate your findings over and over again. And that's what makes the paranormal so hard. It's hard to recreate over and over again. So the closest I think you could get to that is someone like Patrick.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to do more investigating with him to figure out what happens.
At the
Get the right people involved too.
At the temple, he led a spirit box session, and since he was a Mason, he connected with some Masons that were there at the temple in Salina, Kansas, and got some responses. He was asking some questions about the Masons that used to be there.
Yeah, I'm more interested in things being thrown. That's the thing that is like I'm like, okay, I want to figure out how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put him in certain situations, it's most likely going to happen. And I know what kind of situations to put him in. So we'll just leave it at that. I have ideas. I'm going to plan on filming in the future.
Have you heard of the McIntyre Villa in Atchison, Kansas? I've heard of it before.
I haven't.
I don't remember who has said they had been there.
yes, I've heard of that place. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to be probably out of the paranormal for a couple of weeks, but up
13
until
weeks.
then, for 13 weeks. After that, what are your plans for people that follow you and stuff? Because I know you have a Patreon, and there's a lot of people that probably look at your stuff that you post almost every day. that'll have to be put on hold because you're not allowed to even have internet access for a little while. Like,
Yeah, so basically, I'm going to be making a video right before I ship out on the 17th.
mhm.
On the 17th, I'm shipping out, and I'll be in a hotel room for the first day. And during that hotel room day, I'm just going to update everyone on the channel. But yeah, go subscribe to Devil's Hour Productions. That's on my hat. Basically, if you go subscribe to the channel, I'm in the middle of editing an episode right now. I'm trying to release it before I leave, but if I don't I'm very big about quality on my stuff, so it takes a little bit longer for me to do editing because I spend a lot of time on it. But if I don't make it by this on the 16th or 7th, if it's not released on the 16th or 17th, then it's not going to be out until after boot camp. So I'm sorry if that happens, but I'm in the middle of editing it now, so it's
And if you
a
have
lot of work
13 weeks, they'll like go so many weeks of it without letting you have internet access, but closer to the end or when you reach a certain level, then they'll be like, hey, this is part of your liberty. You get to have internet access, or you get to go to,
I think
like
in the Marines it's a little bit less liberty of that, but until the last week, I think it was last week at the Crucible, right?
Mhm.
Do you have any? He's been through Marine Corps boot camp, so that's why I'm asking him. So is that what you remember?
Like our
Dixon?
huh?
I was talking to
Oh,
Jason
Joshua.
about.
Oh no, not Jason. Jason
Oh,
hasn't. No, I think
who
you
was
said
that?
Joshua. No, when
No,
we
no,
went
no.
through, like when I went through a boot camp, my boot camp, which is like Marines and Navy work together. We had an 8-week boot camp or 9 weeks, and you had to go turn your phones in when you got there, and they put them up or whatever until you meet like a certain, like so many weeks of um, training. And when you get to that certain, they'll tell you when you get there though, so you'll know. So many weeks after so many weeks, you are allowed to get a phone card and call back home and talk for 2 minutes, and that's it.
Okay.
Like, but you have to march all the way, to wherever you're going, and then you're allowed to use that.
Wayne, I am joining the Marine Corps.
Or the Marines. Except the Marines. But like after so many weeks, they'll allow you to have phone calls, and then after so many weeks, you get longer phone calls, and then after such and such time, you get you can use the internet. Like you can go to there's a center there where you can actually go and log on to your account and stuff like that, and you can use them if you want to get onto them or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's as long as you meet, you follow the rules, you meet the standards, you do what you're supposed to do.
You talked about your YouTube. Is you got a Facebook and everything?
I have Facebook too, but I am more active on. Well, I have my own personal Facebook that I am more active on, but I'm mostly active on I would say my personal Facebook. YouTube is number one. That's where all my content, all my video stuff is going on. I'm thinking about doing small little videos like my best evidence stuff, maybe putting that on TikTok for like my clips of my best evidence one by one. See where that takes things because I'm trying to promote the channel more. I'm probably going to use TikTok because it's easy to get followers on TikTok. So I'm like, I'm going to probably take advantage of that and try and get people to go to the channel. So I'm going to put it in like this ratio that I'm in right now about and just show the evidence that I captured and then just keep putting videos out like that on TikTok and see if they go to YouTube. But I'm going to do that after I get out of boot camp. Start editing those small clips and I'm going to have it scheduled release. So I get into the algorithm for TikTok and be like, oh,
Yeah.
let's get this one out there. So, yeah.
Those usually go well on TikTok, little small snippets of evidence and stuff like that, or captures and finds. Ask John. John was booming on TikTok, doing stuff like that.
Yeah, but exactly. It's a lot easier to get lucky on there to get a video to get viral or whatever than it is YouTube. YouTube is difficult as hell. It took me a long time. But if I didn't switch channels 3 times, I think I'll be a lot more successful on YouTube than I would have been if
maybe.
I know for confidently because I had my first 1,000 subscribers was Soul Seekers, and Soul Seekers was one of my episodes had 28,000 views, and so it's like it's the success. If I kept that momentum on the channel, I think I would be. I know for sure it would have been bigger. So, but since I changed the channel again, I had to start from scratch again because technically Soul Seekers was not my channel; it was Dante's channel, and so I decided to create my own channel. And at first, it was my new team name, which was called Paranormal Research Unit. And then I changed it to Devil's Hour Productions because I was starting to do a lot more content than just straight up PRU stuff. I was starting to do like documentaries, like you just saw that documentary.
Yeah.
That's not really a PRU thing. And so, but that is a Devil's Hour Productions thing. And then some podcast stuff, some vlogs, all these things I'm starting to release now. So I'm like, it seems more fitting to release it as a production company for my channel now.
Yeah.
Instead of just Paranormal Research Unit. And so, now Devil's Hour Productions is my company. And it kind of works because I originally thought of the name because of my creep factor style of editing. And I thought it went well with that. And also Devil's Hour, 3 o'clock, 3:33
Stay up on that
a.m.
and investigating.
Just everyone in the paranormal knows about that
Yeah.
time and everything. Some people believe it's more active during that time. So basically, there's that aspect of it. And now recently, another thing I just added to is that I'll be a devil dog. So we'll see. So
That's funny. Yeah.
it kind of goes with that too now. So, and I didn't even think of that when I created the name, but it's going to work now. So
That's funny.
Cool.
Oh, crap. I was trying to type in Devil's Hour Productions and I hit in it. So people could go. I'm going to type it in here just in case anyone wants to look back at the comments. But this is your YouTube, right? Devil's Hour Productions.
Yeah. I can send the link if you want.
And then Paranormal Research Unit.
Yeah, that's my team name. But you won't find it on YouTube if you type in Paranormal Research Unit. If you type in Devil's Hour Productions, it will show up.
There's a Facebook page of it, isn't there, though?
Oh, yeah, there is. There is a Facebook page.
Okay, and then the if you want to check out the film we're talking about, the Harrisville Haunting, they have their own Facebook page, too. He has a Facebook page called the Harrisville Haunting.
Yes, that will give you all the updates, the Harrisville Haunting. So that's definitely a really good one to go to because anything that's updating, it's going to update a lot when it comes to anything that's happening with that documentary. After boot camp, it's actually going to be in more places, just letting you know, because possibly Amazon and YouTube Movies and iTunes, stuff like that. So it's going to be in a lot bigger formats pretty soon. Or one big format. It depends on the deal I make with
you guys got to chill out in the comments. I took the comment down. There's no need for like anybody going back and forth right there. So I deleted it to put it into it. So let's just wrap it up, guys. If y'all are mad with each other, go deal with it on your personal time. Sorry to interrupt you. There's people arguing over here, and I'm like, nah, ain't having it.
Yeah, so I sent you the link.
Okay.
So that's the actual YouTube link. And so yeah, it's we're getting closer to 10,000 subscribers. So
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
Hey, guys, go subscribe to Devil's Hour Productions YouTube. I'm going to put the link in the comments. Go subscribe to help them get their 10,000 viewers. And then when you come back from boot camp, you have 10,000 viewers.
that'd be funny. Like get out of boot camp. That'd be a funny surprise. Oh, 10,000. How did that happen?
That would be like 11,000 or something because people know that you're gone and they're like, I've heard that if people have less access to you, then they'll seek out your different, like ways, domains to access.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for YouTube algorithm to pick up one of my videos and be like, oh, be recommended everywhere. Like how viral videos randomly happen sometimes. Hoping for one of those days. But by the way, he called me. Okay. So what was I going to say? There's something else. I forgot. Damn it. My brain's all over the place right now.
Sorry.
Man, I'll tell you one thing.
There's a link in the comments. I've linked it, or under Things Network. That's a link to his YouTube channel. So you guys, if you want to go and subscribe to him, still deleting shenanigans.
Yeah, it's I just want to say that it was a really great film, and I enjoyed it, and it was really put together really well. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I did too.
Yeah, I really love the music design in the film.
Yeah, the music was good.
That was one of my favorite parts of editing was the
I
sound
meant to tell
design
you
and
that
music.
too. Perfect. Yeah. Like the music was perfect for whatever, like the mood or the creepy
Tone.
factor and the suspense and the
Yeah, I'm very big in my editing about music because I feel like that gives most emotions to people. And I've had so many individuals. If you go look on IMDb, people that want to watch the film, it's on Paraflix right now. After I get out of boot camp, it will be taken off because it is being pitched to the distributing companies after I get out of boot camp. So it will be taken off after I get out of boot camp. But Paraflix, you can watch it right now. And it's just a small membership fee. And if you're interested, go watch it there. And please leave a review on IMDb. So it really helps getting people's opinions on it. But what I was saying is like on the IMDb, a lot of reviews are saying that they got the chills or they got the emotional from some of the parts of the film, which I thought was really cool. And that's what, as a filmmaker, that really it's the reason why I do this. I love giving people emotions to feel when they watch something. Yeah. It's an experience, especially if you watch it with good sound. If you watch it with bad sound, it's not the same. I've watched it with bad sound and I've watched it with good sound. Even though I've watched it a whole bunch of times, I still feel the music when I watch it on good sound. If I don't watch it on good sound, it's so that's why I recommend get good headphones if you're watching on your phone, or have good surround sound if you're watching on your TV. It makes a ton of difference, trust me, for the music design. Because I've watched it on a bad TV sound before, and I was like, I'm not feeling any of the stuff I was trying to make feel in the moment. It's I don't know. It's like subconscious. It's subconscious. And I've asked someone that's watched both versions on good sound and bad sound, and they said, yeah, it's very different. So I'm not the only one, and this person wasn't a filmmaker either. So they say it is different too. So if that person says it, and it's not just me being super anal, then I think that there's something to it. So. Yeah, I have good sound. So, good. Sorry, that was a little tangent.
I have to interrupt. If you want to go tell Jeremy York on me, Joshua Dixon, go right ahead. Go tell Jeremy York on me and Courtney. Okay? I intersected and I nipped it in the bud. And if you want to take it personal, I don't usually have to do this on my show because I don't usually have this problem and I don't have people acting like they're 5 years old on my show or off the show. Excuse me. The guy apologized to you. So go tell him. Go tell Jeremy York. And that is the end of this show. Thank you.